Hello students, how are you? Today I am going to start vector or the cross product of two vectors. Let us have two vectors, vector A and vector B, and theta is the angle between these two vectors as I have done in case of dot product. So let me take the two vectors, vector A, vector B, and theta is the angle between these two vectors. Theta is the angle between these two vectors. This is angle A directed from, let me name it as OA, and second vector is B, and let me name it as OB. And theta is the angle between these two. So cross product of these two vectors is expressed as A cross B. This time we will use this symbol, cross symbol over here. So A cross B is equal to modulus vector A modulus vector B sine theta n cap. This n cap is what? This is very interesting to know. This n cap is the perpendicular to both the vectors A and B. For example, you can take the case of x, y and z axis. Let us say that OA represent x axis, OB represent y axis. Let us say in that case this theta will be 90 degree. Then z axis is perpendicular to both the axis, x axis as well as y axis. So similarly, this vector n is the vector, unit vector I should say, which is perpendicular to both the vectors, vector A and B. Let me draw this vector. This is the vector n you can say, which is perpendicular to both. A and B vectors are lying in the same plane, whereas this vector n is lying in the plane which is perpendicular to the plane containing A and B. So this is vector n cap. Sometimes a direct question is there, find a vector which is perpendicular to both the vectors A and B. So what should we do? We should directly calculate A cross B, because A cross B, when we are calculating a vector, third vector you can say, which is perpendicular to both A and B. This is very important line to understand. So let me repeat it again, that if the question is find a vector which is perpendicular to both the vectors A and B, then what you need to find out? You need to find out simply A cross B, because A cross B gives you the vector which is perpendicular to both A and B. So you should always keep this thing in mind, and we'll do lots of questions based on this concept. So this is A cross B is modulus A modulus B sine theta n cap. So if we are calculating A cross B modulus of it, then we are getting modulus vector A modulus vector B sine theta into 1. There is no need to write into 1. Why this is so? Because when we are taking modulus for the whole, then n cap modulus will be 1, because n cap is a unit vector. So therefore modulus is only AB sine theta, and this will help us to find out sine theta from here. So sine theta is A cross B modulus upon modulus A vector modulus B vector. So we are getting that sine theta can be calculated by using cross product, whereas we have calculated cos theta in case of dot product. From here we can simply find that for theta is equal to 0 degree, A cross B is 0. For theta is equal to 0 degree, A cross B is equal to 0. For theta is equal to 90 degree, A cross B is equal to simply modulus A into modulus B, and again for theta is equal to 180 degree, again A cross B is equal to 0. Now let us discuss the properties of vector product. Very first thing, A cross B is a vector quantity. As the name says, it is a vector product. So the resultant is a vector quantity. Second thing, as A cross B is a vector quantity, so it does not hold commutative property. That is, A cross B not is equal to B cross A. But we are having A cross B is equal to minus B cross A. So if we interchange the position of vector A and vector B, we get a negative sign in front of that. So this is first property. This is second property. Third property is vector product is associative with respect to scalar product. Okay, with respect to scalar, you can say. If M is any scalar and A and B are the two vectors, then as in case of dot product, we are having M A vector cross B vector is equal to M into vector A cross vector B is equal to vector A cross M B vector. So this property is same as in the case of dot. Next property is vector product is distributive with respect to vector addition. Means if we are having A, B, C as the three vectors with us, then A cross B plus C, vector B plus vector C is equal to vector A cross vector B plus vector A cross vector C. This property is also same as we have studied in case of dot product. Now let us discuss vector product in determinant form. But before going to this, let me discuss what will be the value of I cap cross I cap, J cap cross J cap, K cap, cap cross K cap. So this you know very well. I think you can find out it's very easily, as the angle between I cap and I cap, J cap and J cap, K cap and K cap are 0 degree. So therefore, if we are calculating cross product, then the resultant will be 0 because sin theta is 0 for all the three cases. Now let us find the value of I cap cross J cap cross K cap and K cap cross I cap. So to find out these values, you should recall the line what I have told to you just before few minutes, that cross product of two vectors is a vector which is perpendicular to both the vectors. So you know very well that which vector is perpendicular to both I and J. Yes, it is vector K. So therefore, if we find cross multiply of I and J vector, I cap and J cap, then the resultant is K cap. Similarly, if we are finding out cross product of J and K, then the resultant is I cap, and the same for K cap cross I cap. The resultant is J cap, because these are perpendicular vectors. Now let us find out the value of J cap cross I cap, K cap cross J cap, and the third one is I cap cross K cap. So as I told you that A cross B is equal to minus B cross A. So the negative sign will appear, that is minus I cross J it will be. So the resultant is minus K cap. Its resultant is minus I cap, and the resultant of this one is minus J cap. So remember this thing, that when we are having positive sign and when we are having negative sign. So you should have in this way that you write these I, J, K in circular order in clockwise direction. Let me name, this is I cap, this is J cap, this is K cap. So if we are moving in clockwise direction, I, J, then J, K, then K, I, then the sign before the vector which is perpendicular to the cross product of two will be positive, and if it is going anti-clockwise, then sign will be negative. Now let us find out cross product in terms of determinant. So let me write vector A in its component form. it is A1 I cap plus A2 J cap plus A3 K cap, and vector B is equal to B1 I cap plus B2 J cap plus B3 K cap. Now let us find out A cross B. So A cross B is equal to A1 I cap plus A2 J cap plus A3 K cap cross B1 I cap plus B2 J cap plus B3 K cap. So as we have done in case of dot product, let us multiply in the same way. First of all, A1 I cap is to be multiplied with all these three one by one. So first quantity that we are getting is A1 B1 I cap cross I cap. Second one is A1 B2 I cap cross J cap. Third one is A1 B3 I cap cross K cap. Now let us multiply this A2 J cap with all these three one by one. So we are getting plus A2 B1 J cap cross I cap plus A2 B2 J cap cross J cap plus A2 B3 J cap cross K cap. Now the next, let us multiply this A3K cap with all three one by one. So we are getting plus A3 B1 K cap cross I cap plus A3 B2 K cap cross J cap plus A3 B3 K cap cross K cap. One thing you should always keep in mind that you should take the same order. J cap, K cap, J cap cross K cap. As I have written over here, you can't write it as K cap cross J cap. So order should be followed. Whatsoever is at the first position, you should write at the first position, and whatsoever at the second position, you should have the same position for that. You should not interchange the position. Why? Because cross product is not commutative. Now let us find out the value. So here the first one is 0. Why this is so? Because I cross I is 0. So the whole term is 0. The second term, I cross J is K cap. So we are getting plus A1 B2 K cap. Third term is having I cap cross K cap, and you know that its value is minus J cap. So we are having minus A1 B3 J cap. The third one is J cap cross I cap, and it is again in reverse order. So we are getting minus A2 B1 into K cap. Then J cross J cap is 0. So this term is 0 plus 0 it is. The next term is J cap cross K cap. So we are having its value as plus I cap. So plus A2 B3 I cap. Next one is plus J cap we are getting from here. So plus A3 B1 J cap. Next is K cap cross J cap is minus I cap. So we are getting minus A3 B2 I cap, and this K cap cross K cap is 0. So we are getting 0 over here. Let us rearrange this thing. So we are getting A2 B3 minus A3 B2 I cap. Now let us take the term with J cap. So we are getting plus A3 B1 minus A1 B3 J cap. And the next term, let us collect K cap. So it is plus A1 B2 minus A2 B1 K cap. And this result implies that this is nothing but simply the solution of determinant with the result I cap, J cap, K cap, then A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3. So this is equal to A cross B. So A cross B can be simply written in the form of determinant by taking I, J, K in first row, A1, A2, A3. That is the scalar components of vector A in second row, and B1, B2, B3, that is the scalar component of vector B in third row. So with this arrangement, you can find out very easily the cross product. There is no need to keep this formula in mind. Now one thing more you should remember, that if we are talking about A cross B, then the second row should be with scalar components of A, and third row should be scalar component of scalar component of vector B. But if we are talking about B cross A, then second row will contain the scalar component of vector B, and third row will contain the scalar component of vector A. Means again I am emphasizing here that you should be very careful about order when you are doing cross product. Now let us discuss about geometrical interpretation of vector product. From here we will find out two important formula to find out area of parallelogram and area of triangle also. To visualize it, let me draw one figure. In this figure, vector AB directed from A to B represent vector A, and vector B represented by AD directed from A to D, and the angle between these two vectors A and B is theta. As we know that A cross B can be written as modulus vector A modulus vector B sin theta n cap, and modulus of A cross B is modulus A modulus B sin theta. If we talk about length, then we know that length of vector A is AB. Let me write it as AB, and length of vector B is AD. So let me write it as AD sin theta. Here I have drawn DM perpendicular to AB. So this angle is 90 degrees. Now using the concept of trigonometry, in this triangle ADM, we are having sin theta is equal to dm upon AD, and from here we are getting dm is equal to AD sin theta. So this AD sin theta can be replaced by dm. So let us replace this. We are getting AB into dm. Now if you look at this parallelogram ADBC, and simply if you need to find out area of this parallelogram, then you know very well that area of parallelogram is nothing but simply base into height. So AB into DM is nothing but simply the area of parallelogram. The same we are getting over here. So what is AB into DM? So AB into DM is area of parallelogram ABCD. So this is how we can express area of parallelogram in terms of cross product. So we are getting A cross B modulus is equal to area of parallelogram, where vector A and vector B represent two adjacent sides of the parallelogram ABCD. So we can simply express that area of parallelogram ABCD is the modulus of cross product of the vectors representing adjacent sides of a parallelogram. From here, DB is the diagonal, and we know that DCB triangle and triangle ADB are congruent triangles. So if we need to find out area of triangle ADB or DCB, we need to just get half of this. So from here we can have that area of triangle can be given as A cross B modulus of it and half of it, where A and B are the adjacent sides of a triangle. Because this is clear from this figure that if we are talking about triangle ADB, then its area will be half of area of parallelogram, and this is nothing but simply half of A cross B. So this is the way how to calculate area of parallelogram and area of triangle by using cross product. One thing more you should know, that if vector A and vector B represents diagonals of a parallelogram, then again area of parallelogram can be given as half of modulus A cross B. So means when diagonals are given, then area of parallelogram is half of modulus of A cross B. Now this is the time to know that whether there is a relation between vector product and dot product or not. Yes, we are having a relation between these two. Let us find out this relation. Let us start with cross product. Let me take two vectors A and B and let me write A cross B for this A cross B modulus. Now as we know that A cross B modulus can be expressed as modulus vector A modulus vector B sine theta. Let us apply squaring both sides. We are getting A cross B vector A vector B vector A cross vector B whole square is equal to, we are getting modulus vector A square modulus vector B square sine square theta. Now this sine square theta can be written as 1 minus cos square theta. So let us write it as modulus A square modulus B square into 1 minus cos square theta. You can simplify it as modulus vector A square modulus vector B square minus modulus vector A square modulus vector B square cos square theta, which is equal to modulus vector A square modulus vector B square minus, this is what? This is AB cos theta whole square, and which is nothing but simply A dot B whole square. So we can write this as A dot B whole square. So this is the relation between cross product and dot product. That is the square of cross product of two vectors can be expressed as modulus vector A square modulus vector B square minus square of dot product of two vectors. We should put arrow over here. This relation is also known as Lagrange's identity. Now let me explain few examples to understand the topic very well. So here is an example. Find a vector of magnitude 5 units which is perpendicular to both vectors this and this. Now let me name these vectors as vector A is equal to I cap plus j cap plus k cap, and the second vector, let me name it as B, is equal to I cap plus 2j cap minus 3k cap. Now I need to find a vector of magnitude 5 units which is perpendicular to both vector A and B. So as I told you in the starting that when we are calculating A cross B, then we are calculating a vector which is perpendicular to both vector A and B. So simply here, if we find out A cross B, then this will be a vector. Let me name it as vector C, which and this C will perpendicular to both A and B. So let us calculate A cross B by using determinant formula. So determinant of I cap, j cap, k cap, then taking the coefficients of vector A, this is 1, 1, 1, then coefficient of vector B, these are 1, 2, minus 3. Now let us apply determinant rule. This is I cap into minus 3 minus 2 minus j cap into minus 3 minus 1 plus k cap into 2 minus 1. So we are getting minus 5 I cap plus 4 j cap plus k cap as vector c. This is, I have given the name as c. Now one thing more, we need to make the unit magnitude of this c as 5. So first of all, let us make it for unit 1. Means let us find out a vector which is unit vector. So means we need to calculate c cap, and we know very well c cap is equal to vector c upon vector c modulus, and vector c modulus is 25 plus 16 plus 1 and root of it. That is, we are having root 42 we are getting. So therefore, c cap is minus 5 upon root 42 I cap plus 4 upon root 42 j cap plus 1 upon root 42 k cap. So now easily we can write vector with magnitude 5 units is, let us multiply this unit vector with 5, and certainly the magnitude of this vector will be 5. So therefore the required vector is minus 25 upon root 42 I cap plus 20 upon root 42 j cap plus 5 upon root 42 k cap. So this is the required vector which is perpendicular to both the vectors a and b with magnitude 5 units. Let me take one more problem. It is, find a unit vector perpendicular to plane ABC where the position vector of A, B and C are given to you. Means position vector of points are given to you. You need to calculate a vector perpendicular to plane ABC. So this is also the same question just we have done here. First of all, you need to calculate vector AB, vector BC. Okay, only two vectors is required to calculate. There is no need to calculate vector AC. Then calculate AB cross BC and then find out unit vector. Let me name this as vector A, and then you need to find out A cap. So this A cap will be the result for the given problem. Why this is so? Because again I am repeating the same line, that when we are calculating AB cross BC, then we are getting a vector which is perpendicular to the plane containing AB and BC, and the plane containing ABC is AB and BC is ABC. So therefore vector A is a vector which is perpendicular to vector AB and vector BC, that is perpendicular to plane ABC. So this was all about vectors. We have discussed about magnitude and direction of a vector, direction, cosine and ratios of a vector, types of vectors, magnitude of a vector, components of vector, addition, subtraction and multiplication of vectors. And in multiplication we have studied two multiplications. One is dot product and other is cross product. So go through all the topics very well, do more and more questions, because this topic is very important from the point of view of examination, especially dot product and vector product. So solve a good number of problems to master the topic.